I see it. I see what's happening. I've even gone down and prodded people, and they want to eat, or the food is better than
There's bacon.
Yeah, there's bacon. So, of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Awesome. So, visitors. I looked right at you first, so you're my first visitor.
So this is my sister Emily. She's a past exchange student to France. She's sponsored by Fortuna Sunrise Club. And let's see, she's also an North Bay Rotary alumni. She just graduated from Berkeley City College, and she's going to California University of Berkeley this fall.
Thanks.
Awesome. Visitors at this table, Howard? Is that your name?
Yeah, I'm Howard Stauffer, and I'm coming here from Egypt. So, good to be here. Good to be back.
Visitors? There's no visitors at this table, so visitors?
I have somebody that I would like to introduce that I have known for all of 5 minutes, and it's Sean here, who joined us this morning to kind of take a look and see what's going on. So, what about visitors over there? Come on.
There are not visitors at this
Visit
table.
team.
Let me look.
No.
We got some visiting Rotarians.
No.
Visiting Rotarians? Visiting Rotarian, I see visiting Rotarian.
And
Visiting Rotarian.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Stan.
Hey, Stan!
From the best year ever, President.
Just because I'm a little unclear on this stuff, I'll get there. Backpacks? Are there backpacks today?
No, school's
School's
out.
Well, don't do that to me. You know what? I don't care. This is dead to me.
So, AJ's president, that won't happen anymore.
No, you know why? He's got a real computer. So, anyway, there's a picture of backpacks, but we don't care about that. We're going to move right on to announcements. And the first announcement we have is I'm blind and there's a guest at this table.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you? Would you like to, you know what, why don't you come up front? That's Woo! Who are you?
Hi, I think most of you already know me. I'm Mozara. I was a foreign exchange here, 2014-2015, and I'm back visiting.
Cool. So, you speak Portuguese?
Yes.
What's the word of the day?
I forgot about that. What do you want to learn?
Actually, you know, this is fun for me, and I'll get a segue into it. Is there a word for Bigfoot or Sasquatch or some weird thing that lives in the woods?
Ray. It's called Ray.
Oh, all right. I didn't realize that. No? Maybe. Mythical creature that lives in the woods. All right, let's pick a different word. How about oyster? Oyster.
Good. Ostra.
Ostra?
Ostra.
Ostra.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And Humboldt has the best oysters in America, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
My island has the best oysters in Brazil.
You guys both.
Oh, wow.
And
Humboldt's best.
you hear that? Yeah. All right. So I haven't been able to hear this firsthand, but everybody tells me what you're doing now is incredible and exciting. Could you give us an update as to what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm in my last year of law school. Studying for the bar and writing my thesis.
Where are you going to school?
Back in my city. Yeah, Florianopolis. I have an internship at the prosecutor's office from my state. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
So, you're telling us that you came here as an exchange student, which takes a ton of time. We're here for a year, went home, went back to school, or went to school, finished, and you're almost done with law school.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. How many lawyers are in the room? Oh, there is one, she's stuck in my baby. Does that seem like that's it, is the proper way to say it?
No.
No. So,
That's fantastic.
well, we're glad to have you back.
Glad to be back.
Last week?
Yes. This Sunday I leave on Sunday.
Well, thank you for visiting us 2 weeks in a row. And I'm sorry what I did last week, which was, hi, Mozara.
No, it's fine.
But there we go. Announcements.
The Rotary debunking is tonight at the end of the party, 6:30 Wallace Heights.
It's an awesome event.
Yeah.
If you haven't been to the debunking at Rotaract, it's really a lot of fun.
And it's a good event for potential members to come.
And I'm bringing a potential member. She will be around.
All right.
Could I have an announcement before you?
Oh, no, there are plenty more time.
Is there time for financial assistance, Charlie, and could we meet briefly after the meeting with Dick?
Sure.
Just for couple financial assistance things, maybe over in the corner. Financial assistance committee, I just need about 5 seconds. Thanks.
I'm just gesturing to Christine. Check your email.
Hi, Romy.
Hi there.
I didn't have any announcements, I just wanted to say hi.
Okay.
Cool.
I have one.
Announcements!
Yay.
If you're a fan of choral music, there's a concert tomorrow night. This is a group of people that got invited to get together, experienced choir folks. They've had an intensive 2-week rehearsal period. And Saturday night at 8 o'clock at Christ Episcopal Church in Eureka, they are going to perform their however many songs they've been able to get together. I hear it's great. I hear it firsthand because my wife has joined this group. She's singing it. So
Literally here at first.
All right. One more. There's always more.
Yeah, and then maybe another one that I can't find in my email apparently. But one of the sunrise spirit things. Sorry. Rise, that's it. Rise event idea that we had was joining surf riders in their annual paddle kayak thing that's coming up on July 13th. So you meet at the marina and you paddle over to the Humboldt Bay Social Club and they have a big barbecue and music and it's a great fundraiser for those that are protecting our ocean and our shorelines. I'll be sending out a flyer for that.
Just make clear, I know we use a lot of acronyms, right? But RISE is a term that Fellowship Committee created, just for the people who are not familiar with that term, and it means Rotary involvement strengthens everyone. We join the club because we want to do service together in our community, but we also join the club for time together and for community within our club. So when Crystal was just saying it's a RISE event, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew what that means. Rotary involvement strengthens everyone, so we get together to have fun in addition to getting together to do great things.
Right.
Dustin just asked me to announce that we could still use some volunteers for the Oyster Festival. You should have all got the sign-up genius or just text Dustin and let him know.
And that's the rest of it.
Jeff? I realize that Brian's not, don't look surprised. Just, it's an announcement, it's okay. So, last week, we did the top 10, and it was fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for what you did. We wanted to give an update. Brian's not here, and I haven't heard from him. Do you want to say something about it? We can push it to next week. It's fine.
Oh, well, update on top 10. Well, we all know top 10 is for, they did an amazing job with the students. Their GPAs were huge. What is it that you're looking for?
That's what I was wondering, because I noticed that I don't think you got involved in the email, but we had an explanation because it's a memorial the scholarships are memorial scholarships. How about instead of me standing here and babbling and having a conversation with Jeff, I actually figure it out and we do it next week?
There we go.
That looks great. Yes, that's much easier. So, strangely, Rotarian of the Week is the next thing that I have scheduled, and I absolutely don't think I have a choice here, because it has to be Howard, because he came back from Egypt to come to a meeting.
Yeah.
He came back yesterday?
So is this what you have to do to become a Rotarian?
Go away for 2 months.
At the end, Howard.
No, it's the fact that you have to be half asleep right now, and you're still here. You just come back and you still come to a meeting?
Evening by now.
Well, it is good to be back, and we do live in the greatest place in the world. It's true. Glad to be back.
Fantastic. So, I'm assuming that you have tons and tons of pictures, but
I do.
I got them this morning. So, they're not in this, but we'll have some up next week.
Okay, I've specially selected just 2,000 of my favorites.
Mr. President, it should also be pointed out that Howard continued his secretarial duties while traveling.
No kidding. I know. So, I'm not sure that I'm supposed to say this because it makes me look really bad. You're a lot better at this than I am. And you're a lot better at being secretary than I am. And you're just good at this in general.
Thank you, Howard.
So, yeah, you're amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. All right.
Speaking of amazing, I'll pass the card around. We got a card from Arcata High Interact with a bunch of signatures thanking us for helping them and just generally being great.
I forgot an announcement. Let's see, if you're free after Oyster Fest, or if you want to go before, there's a 2-seater car show out in Woodley Island. Jesus, my boyfriend, who works at General Motors, they're helping put together this car show. They've done it for about 10 years. And all the funds that are raised at the car show benefit the Humboldt Resource Center. It's Woodley Island from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday.
All right. So, this is sort of confusing, but speakers are weird. And you think you have a speaker, and then all of a sudden you realize you don't have a speaker, or it's somebody else, and you think it's someone different. And then you look at 6:30 at night because Howard is so on top of it, even though he should be sleeping. He tells you, oh, we kind of forgot something. So we have a speaker today. And how convenient that you're all here because it's all of you. So we're going to make this super easy. I'll start. All I'm looking for, because I failed this year and didn't announce birthdays. We did sing happy birthday to everybody last week. So if you'd like, mention what you did for your birthday. If you like, mention what you did for your anniversary. Tell us something that you are doing in your life right now. And tell us something fun. Something about you, something about somebody else here. And I'll start. Whoever wants to go next, Joyce, because your recognitions. How about we throw it to you? Would that be good?
Okay.
Perfect, and then we can just bounce around. So, I went to teppanyaki for my birthday. It was fantastic. I ate too much and actually had to get a cab home because I was too full to drive.
Right.
It's funny because after that, you would think I would have been smart enough to not say, hey, for our anniversary, let's go to teppanyaki. I went to teppanyaki for our anniversary too, because why not? That time I actually did drive home. And then in life, you guys see me all the time, so you hear from me all the time. I'm building a Bigfoot tasting room. I'm making a computer beat. I'm going to smash that thing next week, because it's going to be so gratifying. So I'm building a business, and something fun that I'm doing now. I'm building a business. So there we go. Joy.
Well, some of you know I have 2 daughters, Kayla and Lacey. Kayla got married a year ago in March and graduated from law school just in May. She's studying for the bar. And Kayla and Lacey is in Sacramento going to nursing school. She'll get her master's in nursing and be a family nurse practitioner when she graduates. That's next year about this time. And she's getting married in August. She's marrying, some of you may know, Casey Coelho, who also went to Arcata High, and he is a contract manager. He went to Chico State to their construction business management, and he's working for a company in Santa Barbara. Where both families are keeping their fingers crossed that they'll end up here. Hoping that for Kayla too, but she's a little bit more of a wanderer. And my birthdays were anniversary of last fall, so not much happened. I am the presiding judge in the Humboldt County Superior Court, and we are beginning a family wellness court, which is a treatment court for families, trying to give services better, to have better outcomes for families and for children. We've also created a student school attendance court, where we have increased attendance for those students that have come in grades, 6 years old to 8th grade by 88%. And we have, out of the 7 judges on our bench in the last 2 years, we've had 5 new ones and a new commissioner, so there's a lot of training going on. And we are, that's about it. So I'm busy doing those things. Oh, and I'm training for a half marathon to run in November.
Nope, you could either pick someone or someone could just jump up and volunteer because there's so much excitement. I feel so much excitement from right there.
All right, I'll jump up. Well, I have been working at the Trinidad Coastal Land Trust for a little while, so that's a nonprofit, and so it's really kind of a mix of work and fun. In fact, this Sunday I'll be at the Fish Festival, so we'll have a booth out there, so if any of you want to come up after you've stuffed yourself with oysters on Saturday, and you want some more fish on Sunday. And the Land Trust is pretty cool. The other night I got to hang out with a group of volunteers who redid 100 steps down to Luthenholtz Beach. So if Luthenholtz Beach is one of your favorite spots, you've got to check it out. It's just beautiful. And so I have the privilege, as part of my work and fun, coordinating all kinds of cool hikes that go on, low tide hikes. We got a beach wheelchair now. I can take people exploring the low tide in a beach wheelchair, all kinds of fun stuff. So that's been an awful lot of fun. As far as my birthday, that was about a year ago. I can't remember what happened last year, but I am going to Lassen, coming up with my sweetie to celebrate my birthday, one of my favorite spots. And our anniversary was last September, and I don't even remember what that was, but this coming September will be our 20th anniversary, so we'll have to make some kind of big plan for that. And I've been doing I do lots of little part-time gigs, and makes my head scattered all over the place, so we are going to plan a vacation in August in Maui, one of my favorite spots, got a little place. So that's what's happening with me.
I don't know if I can get you to jump up, but I happen to know that we didn't talk about Engineer of the Year or something.
I did. That was through the American Society of Civil Engineers. Rebecca Crow, she was very nice to nominate me as one of the candidates as Civil Engineer of the Year, and Stan won that award in the past as well. And so every year our local chapter recognizes a local civil engineer. Marty was that as well. And it was a great honor and a surprise. She did a good job getting me to come to the meeting, and my wife was there, which seemed very odd. Not that she is likes to hang out, with a bunch of civil engineers all the time, but that was. It was very nice. Rebecca had some very kind words to say, which I appreciated greatly, and it was nice to be recognized by my peers after having worked here now for almost 25 years locally and almost 10 years before that down in the Bay Area. So it's been a long career, really appreciate it. And aside from that, since I get to have the podium for a moment, still cleaning up from the kinetic sculpture race. My garage is still a disaster because we have a remodeling project going on at the same time. which was really insane because it really ramped up like 2 weeks before the race. So.
Poor planning.
Or planning.
You're an
Gonna
engineer.
get the garage cleaned up. Gonna finally like relax a little bit, maybe. I don't know. We got a wedding we're going to next week, so I'm gonna miss the meeting, I'm afraid. But going to a wedding, whole bunch of family up in Olympia, Washington, and my wife and I are gonna have our 25th anniversary in July. So we're going to go down to Vichy Hot Springs. That was the big excitement, and then we're staying in another hotel down in Napa. I don't know what we'll do, ride bikes, have some fun, enjoy the summer. And then get ready for all of, like next fall, where we are the first host family for our exchange student who's from France. We are also, Daniela from HSU convinced us to put up a Chinese piano student she has, and then after that we are going to have an AFS student. So, you know, it's going to be a full house next year. That wasn't my plan, but that's just how it's been.
So this year was your year of awards and trophies. Next year is your year of exchange students.
Penance.
Penance?
Something. But it's going to be a good summer. We're really enjoying it. And I want to get out and ride my bike again because the last couple of weeks I haven't gone bike riding. So I'm hoping this weekend I get to go out and ride.
Steve, that sounds like a hostile environment.
No.
You don't have to thank me. It's okay.
So you're all week. That was so great. We don't need an update.
We got a couple segues. So Steve and Patty, of course, thank you for hosting our next Inbound Thomas. And Andreas and Jen just stepped up to be our second family. Thank you very much. Which means that I have to apologize. We have no opportunities to host next year because we do have all three families lined up now. So thank you. That is a first, maybe even in the district, to have all three identified and committed before somebody comes. So I know our inbound student will feel the love coming in here. So thank you. Personally, there's another segue. Congratulations on your awards. Advanced Security was also just recognized as continuing to grow. Last year we were 98th. And this year we're 78th, and that doesn't sound too big, but that's in the nation as security and alarm companies go. So we're very proud of that, and hope I had a little piece in that, but that was good. And then for fun, a couple of years ago, Elizabeth and I decided we've seen all the walking trails in Humboldt, so we decided to take up the water trails, and we got some kayaks. And earlier this year, we bought another kayak because we decided the friends need to go enjoy that too. So if anybody's been interested in kayaking and doesn't have the gear or just wants to check it out safely, we'd be happy to put you on a list to take you out. So we can accommodate 2 adults, or 2 adults and a kid, or 3 kids on the spare. So open invitation, please.
Thank you.
You know what? Put me on the spot, Brandon. You've got that look like you're looking at me, I'm pointing at you, and you're just doing that.
I was thinking what I was going to say here. So,
I think most people might know.
You
But
probably
there
already
could
know.
be a couple in here who don't.
That's true. So most of my time is just spent with my child, my son. He's 9 weeks old, almost 10. He sleeps like every other day. Last night wasn't one of them, so I'm a little tired.
Has he passed the bar yet?
No.
Just checking.
We're getting him ready, you know.
He did his first Rotary event though.
We did, yep. Got Paul Harris already. He's like way ahead of me. So. We do tummy time like a minute, you know, for like a minute to get him like ready to start crawling. And he's like pretty close. It's kind of cool. He like gets his legs under him. He just doesn't have enough shoulder strength to push himself up. So that's most of my time. I know we're. That's what they say to do now. I don't know. Last year for my birthday, I went to Vegas and we saw Blink-182, so that was pretty cool. He was still in the womb, so that was like his first concert. But and then for our anniversary, we're gonna go to Mexico next month, so that's pretty cool. And then yeah, most of my time is just my kid. It's kind of cool. So I don't really have anything else.
That's plenty.
It's plenty. I think that's plenty.
I don't think you're required to have anything else.
Okay, good.
I mean, you're here.
I'm here.
want to segue onto what Ian said, and this, I'm not. My husband might, but I'm not.
Not that segue.
No, not that segue. I have Maldemar.
Wait, you have a segue too?
No, I don't have that either.
Keep it up, Jessica. I like
So, do you want to stand there? So, this Rotary year, we hosted a youth exchange student for 2 weekends. We were kind of like the emergency fallback, so we got vetted and everything, and it was really fun, and it's just enough, and we would love to do more, but we have a 1-bathroom house, so we're not having a teenager with us. But anyway, I really recommend, being that backup for the weekend, because it was really fun to get to know friends from Italy. The other thing is, Saturday we went to a double graduation party, or Sunday. Our neighbors, one graduated from Wellesley with honors, and the other, my cat sitter, Jack, who's my second favorite man in the whole world, well, maybe third, if he, well, maybe fourth. Anyway, he's one of my favorite people.
He's on her segue.
3 or 4 buddies. He cat sits, and he was romanced by all these colleges. And his mother and I were voting for Humboldt State, and so he is staying and going to Humboldt State. So we gave him an extra big present because he's going to be there. And then the next day, Monday, my husband had a significant birthday that had a 7 in it.
Whoa.
And
27?
Yes. I married young. And he hates being celebrated. He didn't want to party. And I seldom argue with him about those kinds of things because it's just no good. But this time I really put my foot down. And so there were 5 of us who went to Fergoso's for dinner on Monday night. We had excellent food, and my friend Val brought a chocolate silk pie. And so he said maybe in 5 years he'll let me give him a party. So I'll keep you posted.
In 5 years you'll have a party, but next week is he joining our club? Is he going to actually transition?
I work on it all the time. And every year he says, well, next year maybe after so-and-so and my club's done being president. And now he can't leave because Ken Singleton's going to be president. It's
Tell him my feelings are hurt.
It's a saga. Yeah.
He won't care, but I would appreciate that at least.
It's more convenient coming here.
So the 2 German speakers here, and there could be more, but I'm surprised neither one of you has jumped up because there's got to be
Jet
something.
lagged. They're jet lagged. No jet
Come on, no jet lag excuses allowed. Howard is here. But not an excuse. There we go.
I just got back from 3 weeks in Germany to visit family and friends, and while I was there, I met up with Maggie and we went to the international conference in Hamburg, and it was a blast. That was my first international conference, and it was really great, and I'm looking at calendars and planning, hopefully, to go to the one in Honolulu next year. But anyway, Maggie and I are going to caucus a little later this week and bring our ideas back to you later.
I'm not planning for a marathon, but I did do a really hard 3-kilometer walk. That they put on and got a t-shirt. And it was fun. I was there for a week, and then before that I went to Portugal and spent, Lisbon and Porto, great cities, lots of hills, fun place. They have these little pastries called egg tarts or whatever they are. They had to find a way to use up all the egg yolks because they used the egg whites for some weird thing like tanning or, the monks used it hundreds of years ago. So I figured I'm walking 10 miles a day. I can eat a couple tarts, right?
One per mile.
Or more,
yeah.
More. But so I consistently two a day, and I gained weight. So it really doesn't matter how many miles you walk. If you're eating those things, you're going to gain weight. But it was fun. It was great. It was hot over there. We had kind of like what just happened here. We had some days that were really hot in Hamburg, and they, of course, didn't know what to do with themselves. But it was fun. It was great. We have some good stuff to tell you about. I do want to say Rotaract. Just keep that in mind. International is really realizing and pulling out all the stops for Rotaract, and really wants to support them. They want to see clubs do that, and I think that's really important for us. And we'll talk more about some of the things they have going for that. But it's pretty exciting. I wasn't going to go to Honolulu because It's hot in June, but then I found out of, some people who are going, so it's going to be hot and fun. So I think Honolulu is definitely worth going to. It's so close, it's so close. You don't have to go to Egypt. You don't have to go to Hamburg. It's right around the corner, so it'll be fun.
And Ian has kayaks, so.
And Ian has kayaks. We'll show up with a bunch of kayaks.
If we leave now.
Yeah, I don't know if we all can fit, but we can try.
It's tough getting out of the jetty if you're going on the
Save on airfare. Paddle.
I saw you shift.
Yeah, I'll get up.
That was good. That was a good double point. Did you like
Oh,
that? I'm like,
did you want-
no.
did you want
Did you see what I did? Did you
Okay,
see
I
what I
can
did
see
there?
what
No,
you
I
did.
said, did I see you shift? Because you both shifted. One of you jumped.
Perfect. Let's see. So after surviving tax season, my husband and I always like to plan a little getaway, and so we were gone for a couple of weeks in May, and we had the intent to be gone for 14 days, and we planned that we would camp 2 or 3 days, and then get a hotel and camp 2 or 3 days, and we were planning to tour the Southwest because we talked about going to Montana, and I was like, it's May, it could snow in Montana in May. Well, we went to the Southwest, and there was snow even in the Southwest. And in our 14 days, we camped 2 nights because it was cold and it rained, and I don't like to pack up my tent when it's wet. So I'm kind of a fair weather camper, I guess, but we had a great time. We saw a bunch of national parks. We did Death Valley, we did Rice, Zion, we went to Monument Valley. Literally, there was snow over on this monument and rain on that monument, so turned the monument completely white. Saw the place where Forrest Gump stopped his run and turned around and went back. And then we went to it's Monument Valley. It's at the edge of Monument Valley. Anyway, and then we went up to Moab. We went to Arches and Canyonlands. And then when we came back across Nevada, we drove Highway 50, and which is the loneliest highway. But there were a few people there, especially when we got to a place called Salt Mountain, or Sand Mountain. All of our president's supporters were there with their sand dunes camping for the Memorial Day weekend and driving up the mountain and back down. And up the mountain and back down is this shifting mountain of sand that people just camp at the base and drive up and down the mountain. It was a fascinating experience of these are not my people, but this is a really interesting place to be. So that was kind of fun. And then we went to, Great Basin, which is in Nevada. And then when we came back into California, we went to Lassen, and then we came home. So it was a wonderful trip. Saw a bunch of area that I've never seen in the country, and put 2,500 miles on the car. So that was good too.
And you saved a lot of time by not camping, by setting up and breaking down. You saved a lot of time.
Yes.
You could see more monuments.
We got to see more. We got to do more hikes. We got to, but it was wet and cold sometimes though too. So anyway, but it was fun.
Nice.
Let's just call you out over there, Nick. But it is fun to have these meetings, and I keep getting to look over at you, and I see you doing paperwork over there, and you come over and you get coffee and snacks, and you kind of go back and forth. I don't know, I just wanted to say hi.
We're the unsung heroes.
That's an acceptable update too. You can be like, see, worked great. Who wants to follow that?
A few words.
Hey.
Action.
What is that? Let's get emphatic. Come on. I want to go next.
Well, I'm embarrassed because I don't remember what I did for my birthday because it was in January. And I guess I'm too old to remember. But anyway, I know, and our anniversary is in August, but I can tell you what we did at our anniversary last year because we do the same thing every year. And we go to Larapin. So that was an easy one. So I wasn't going to say anything, but then I got to thinking, well, it's kind of interesting. Some of you know what I've been doing, but some of you probably don't. But one day this is a Rotary project. I ended up kind of in the mother of all Rotary projects. About a year and a half ago, the fire chief came to be our speaker. And he was he was the new fire chief, and he was talking about, you know, the fire district, and oh, he needed a board member. And he was looking around the room and he went, because the Arcata Fire District is set up in wards. So he knew where I lived because when he was a kid, he fed our animals. So yes.
I just have a quick question about that. You don't think that was a setup in any way?
I don't know. It could be a conspiracy.
Okay.
But so I said, okay. So I did it, and I thought, well, this would be, you know, when you retire, boards are kind of, you get on boards. And so it was the mother of all boards that I've ever been on. I mean, you know, it's a great organization, but there were a lot of issues, and he took over a department that needed a lot of fixing, and the board has kind of recycled over. I think we only have one board member left from the original board a couple of years ago. You know, we have a new board. We've been through collective bargaining with employees. We just signed a new contract. There's a fiscal crisis that, so we've been shaving every dollar that we can. It's turned into multiple committees. You know, Lisa asked me, how many committees are you on now? So, but you know, we're kind of pulling it out. Your fire district was really going into a nosedive there for a while, big time. And our president, being a former member there, that's why he's nodding, he knows. Anyway, I'm very pleased to report that really the organization is coming up very well. A lot of, you know, new strategic plan. We know where every dollar is right now. You know, no more fuzzy math, you know, as some public agencies have been known to do. You'll be hearing more from us, but the main thing I want you to know is that this is my Rotary project. It's turned into a big, and we hope to be sending some people in to kind of give you an update as to what's happening. But we're not out of the woods yet. But we do have to do some things or we're going to end up closing a fire station. So we'll get back to you on that. But anyway, I just thought. People ask what I've done since I retired, and I said I've joined the fire department.
And that's a huge thing, and it's definitely a Rotary-related project because we've been involved with the fire department in multiple ways for years. So, thank you. There are lots of people who haven't talked. This is your chance. Everybody, it's always good to know what's happening with everyone in the club.
Did Sarah give an update?
Wow.
Sarah's next.
Okay, Sarah, you're next.
Well, I'm grading papers back here.
Yes.
I just finished year 9 at Arcata High, so yesterday, yeah. But Jessica brought up going to see national parks, and my husband and I celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary. We went to Zion back in March, even though our wedding anniversary was actually June 6th, which is the 75th anniversary of D-Day. I teach history, so. But Zion was amazing. In March, we went without kids, so that was our first time traveling without children in 10 years. That was fun. Graduation was fabulous. It's always bittersweet, kind of emotional time. You have these kids sometimes for 4 years, and that's tough. But Dave Navarre, our principal, did give a pretty great shout out to Sunrise Rotary yesterday at graduation about how much this club does for that school. So that was really awesome to be recognized like that. And yeah, the 10%ers is always amazing. I had every single one of those kids, and they're incredible. 20%, I think it was even more than 20%, had above a 4.0 or higher. So we just saw just the top 20 with like 4-point crazies, but twice as many of those kids had 4.0s and higher. I mean, just nuts. It was a pretty incredible class. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get my grades done this weekend, and yeah, and so my life now shifts from teacher to swim mom over the summer. So I go to swim meets almost every single weekend in the city. We're heading to Willits this weekend, Reading next weekend, and then the Bay for most of the rest of the summer with my daughters. So that's what we're doing.
Would you like to explain why you threw Sarah under the bus there?
Oh yeah.
She's a new baby.
I do. So last Tuesday, I adopted a puppy. His name is Coda, and he's like red. He's just like a mixture of all different kinds of dogs. I think his mom was a root dealer or something. But he looks like a pit bull. So that's kind of what I've been like obsessed with for the last like week off. But other than that, my daughter, my oldest child, graduated from high school May 31st. So she's gonna do an internship probably with the tribe. Either she can't decide between natural resources or veterinary medicine. So she's gonna intern there with natural resources to see what it's like. And I switched careers. I was a child welfare social worker. Now I'm in mental health. I got my credential in PPSC, the Pupil Personnel Services credential for school social work. And in October, I'll be ready to test for my license to be a clinical social worker.
All right, so people learned a little bit about fellow Rotarians? Yeah, a little bit. Anybody else? Still have a chance.
I'll go.
Wait. You guys can fight it out.
Oh, I just wanted to say Nashville's really fun. I just got back from there the beginning of this month for my bachelorette party. I had 12 wonderful friends put together an amazing 4-day bachelorette party in Nashville, so highly recommend it. And now that the fun part's over, I guess I should send out my invites for my wedding. So that's in 2 months.
Wait a minute, the fun part's over?
Yay, invites! Anyway, so my sister's wedding is next month and mine's 3 weeks later.
And your parents love you for it.
Yes, thank you.
Let me see. I have had a crazy spring. I actually took a class down at Sonoma State, an educational data class, so I traveled once a week all the way down to Sonoma State for a 5 o'clock class. I was teaching a class for the first time at Humboldt State in the Masters in Education program. And somehow we fit in a 3-week vacation to Europe. So Maggie, we were in Sintra and Lisbon and Porto. And if you ever get a chance to take a river cruise up the Douro River, I highly recommend it. It's amazing. I was not a port fan before that trip, and when you taste 50-year-old port, you'll change your mind. Beautiful trip.
Nice. A lot of traveling in here. So, I know it's sitting around here somewhere. There's a raffle bag.
Oh, yeah.
It's really exciting to follow up with raffle.
How much is it this week?
$50. So you're our guest. I would love to read the raffle.
Perfect.
One at a time.
One at a time.
Come on, Sean.
Yeah.
Last 4. 6, 7.
Yes.
7.
No.
7.
Mr. Barwan.
Yes, me. Oh my goodness. I never win.
That's not true.
Get lucky. There's a lot of balls in there.
Six, 7, 4, 7.
Whoever was right after me.
I got it. See, you were right, Nick. Heck, there it is.
Power of positive thinking.
$1 on the table while you guys get ready.
Wow, I love that enthusiasm. Excited about putting $1 on the table. That's
Excited about sticking it in the table.
Yes. So,
What you got, Scott? You got a challenge?
there's the last chance. If If anyone feels that they didn't get to say anything, do it now. No? All right. So hopefully you learned something
Financial
about...
assistance, meet in the corner for a minute.
Let's see.
So like a recap, there was something, it's debunking tonight, is that you said, and then Crystal, what was the date of the event again?
It's the same day as the training for international, so I think it's July 13th.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'll send out, and you can actually, Kayak Zacks, or Zacks Kayaks is donating stand-up paddle boards and kayaks. You just have to reserve ahead of time because obviously there's a limited amount. And so yeah, I hope to see you, put you guys there.
So, one more quickie, really quick announcement. June 29th is the Sand Sculpture Festival. It'd be great to have a Rotary team out there. And this year it's going to be at the Samoa Drag Strip. You can actually drive down the drag strip park out there. It's really close. And anyway, if you have ideas, want to form a team, there's all kinds of great examples on the Friends of It's website.
Okay, so I have to apologize real quick because normally we do give a certificate to the wheelchair with a donation to the Wheelchair Foundation to our speaker. We're not doing that this week. I hope you don't mind, but we'll double up next time. So I knew it.
had something to say. Happy Father's Day, especially to Brandon.
Come on. I'm giving you every opportunity to interrupt me, and you have not taken it, and it's killing me. You've been quiet since I told you to be quiet. It's killing me.
Well,
There we go.
Yeah, where'd the clock go?
Ding!
Not there.
Are you in frame?
be careful what you ask for. No, I'm not going to make any dad jokes anymore.
Dad jokes?
For now.
I'll give us one.
What's that?